The strategy is the result of over a year of work by the Partnership Council. So before we will tell you about the strategy itself, I will talk a bit about how we got here today. The development of the strategy started with conducting extensive research. This research included reviewing already existing research on immigrant integration in second and third tier communities, conducting focus group meetings on immigrant integration with local stakeholders in different sectors, and also a focus group meeting was held with immigrants. And also the research included conducting case studies of immigrant integration in communities similar to Peterborough. This research altogether was used to develop a template which outlined a series of proposed actions to improve immigrant integration in Peterborough and in the region. We then used this template as the basis of an extensive community consultation, which included a very well-attended meeting on July 8th, and input via email by those who could not attend the meeting. Many of you were part of this meeting as well. The result of this consultation was the identification of further actions, as well as partnerships, policy alignments, timelines, and outcome measures for each of the actions. I just wanted to do a little link here between the Workplace Integration Center and our strategy. The Workplace Integration Center, for example, is already one action that's in our strategy that is already happening. There is funding for it. So when I talk about actions, you can think of similar projects and ideas like the Workplace Integration. So we really are all working together. The actions identified by the community consultation were grouped together to create a fewer number of objectives. The categorization of the actions identified by the community is what you will see in the integration strategy we are launching today. To talk more about the strategy, I am going to pass the stage over to our research and implementation specialist,
Thanks, Hajni, and thanks everyone for being here today. As a born and raised Peterborough, it's really exciting to be a part of launching the integration strategy. I've recently moved back to Peterborough after having lived away for some time, and in only that short period of time, in the 8 years I've been away, I can see the changes to the community, the people that have come from other places, and the contributions that people are already making to this place. Growing up here, of course, I learned about Peter Robinson and the 2,000 or so settlers that he brought to this community. And I learned how the work that those people did built the community of Peterborough into a place that we took and built upon that work to build a community that we're all proud to call home today. The integration strategy is a continuation of that history. So just as in Peter Robinson's time, when we asked people to come here and to help and to build a community, today we're asking people to come to Peterborough and to continue that tradition, to build and to contribute to building, to making Peterborough into a place that we're happy to live in, to study in, and to work in. And ultimately, that's what the integration strategy is about, is how do we do that? How do we bring people here? How do we keep them here? How do we benefit from newcomers? So, the strategy is at its core an articulation of the objectives that the community will need to meet in order to better integrate immigrants into Peterborough. I'll say right now, when I use the word Peterborough, it's meant to be a very large Peterborough, big P Peterborough. So Peterborough, the community, the county, the very large community of Peterborough. As you can see, the objectives of the strategy are organized across the top of the chart, and you all have this chart in your handouts. For according to the sector in which they'll be implemented. So there's 4 sectors: economic development, health, social services and voluntary, housing and transportation, and then education. Down the left side of the chart are themes of the strategy. So capacity building, access to services, opportunities for participation, attention to retraction, and research and development. And these represent sort of very high-level changes that will need to happen, or very high-level actions that we need to take as a community to better integrate immigrants. Now, each of the objectives, as Hajni noted, represents a series of actions that were identified through the very broad consultation we conducted with the Peterborough community. And so just for example, under economic development, the first theme being capacity building, these are some of the actions that were identified as being needed to be taken. For example, give information on wage expectations, credential assessment, immigrant services in other countries, update websites, and so on. So as we move forward, the actions that that correspond to the objectives, and there's a list of those actions in your handout as well, will be put together by the Partnership Council into an action plan that will identify who will take the action, when it will be done, and how we'll resource it. And this is where you come in, because to draw upon what Cath said at the start, this is not an ending, but a beginning. And so the strategy outlines what we want to do, but now we need to do it, and we need members of the Peterborough community to help us to do it. So I encourage everyone here and everyone who you represent or to take this back to everyone that you represent to take a look at the plan, either the physical copy you have, or visit our website, PPCII.ca, and help us figure out how to implement it. So if you have ideas for how we can make some of these actions be a reality, if you want to become more involved in it, please contact us. And that's the plan. Thanks very much for being here. Well, there's refreshments, and I'm sure anyone from the Partnership Council will answer any of your questions. So, okay.
Again, this is a document that I'm much more familiar with, and again, I can say that it went through such a strenuous and elaborate process to get from the vision to some actual tangibles. And again, clearly when you begin an initiative like this, you begin with the end in mind, and now we realize that when you get to an end, it's also opening a new beginning. Several of our speakers today spoke about impossibilities and hurdles and obstacles, and then as we moved along, we see how things have changed and how we have taken those obstacles and turned them into opportunities and realized some excellent programs that will serve newcomers to Canada. So I just wanted to end with one of my favorite quotes about impossibilities, and I hope you'll recognize it. It's Lewis Carroll. Alice laughed. "There's no use in trying," she said. "One cannot believe impossible things." "I dare say you haven't had much practice," said the Queen. "When I was your age, I always did it for a half hour every day. Why, sometimes